Hey guys, this is Brett. This is for the 2018 Southern Nationals Amateur Championships Dynamic Defender disc. I left some of the stencil work on some of these discs, as you can see. These three here have the stencils on. This one over here is without the stencil, and you can see that it's just, you know, plain dye and with the fleur-de-lis, no the SNAC 2018. That's how you can definitely have it like this. It looks really cool. But the reason I left the stencil on most of these discs is because you can easily put on a background and have it look something like this. This is just an example. But even if you were to take the stencil off, or if you didn't get a stencil on your disc, you can still make it look cool with a background without the stencil. Having the stencil on and removing it after you dye it, it just makes it pop more, and it just allows you to see the fleur-de-lis in the forefront. So I'm going to show you a couple videos here. We're going to do a couple of different dyes. One of them is going to be, I call it the marbling technique, and I'm going to do this white disc here, and I'm going to marble that one. I'm going to show you a quick video on how to do that. Also, these two discs right here are both shave cream techniques. Very simple, but very cool designs. I mean, they come out really nice. So, and they're great for doing backgrounds. So, I'm gonna do two videos and show you both of those techniques. So, anyway, these are some of the things or all the things you're really gonna need for doing both of these simple techniques. The dye is the most important thing, and one of the harder things to actually acquire. And there's two types of dyes that I use. One is a liquid dye. It's RIT synthetic fabric dye. It has to say synthetic. The other dyes will not work. It says synthetic dye. Otherwise, you just wasted your money, or unless you just want to dye some clothes, because it won't do anything to the disc. Now, also, this right here is a powder dye. It's called Jacquard iDye Poly. As you can see, it says poly. Polyester, synthetic, same thing. If you just get iDye without the poly, it won't work. This is the other things you'll need. You're gonna need either Equate, I buy Equate, or just a cheap shave cream. Doesn't really matter. You're gonna need a lot. It takes a lot. These are cheap though. Probably, I think I got them for $1 a piece. You're gonna need some cups to, especially the more dyes, the more colors you want, the more cups you're gonna need. You know, 1 cup for each color. If you want to make a multicolor disc, which we're gonna do in this one, we're gonna take 2 shades of blue and make this one. But so you're also gonna need, this is the marbling This is for the marbling technique. You're gonna need bags. I use white bags because I can see the dye better when I put it on there. So you can use the dark ones, doesn't matter. I'm gonna fill up. You gotta fill up a bowl, so you gotta have some type of a bowl to put it in. You're gonna need that. For the other technique, which is a shave cream technique, is the reason for having the shave cream, and is you're gonna fill this pan with shave cream just like a pie, and then you're gonna flatten it out with a spatula. So you're gonna need a spatula, and that's it. Okay, the first technique I'm gonna show you is the marbling technique. It's gonna be on this disc here, using the stencil, leaving it on. I'm gonna put a background on it. It's gonna be very similar to this right here, because I'm gonna use these colors. There's actually 3 colors in here. One of them being turquoise. So anyways, I'm gonna set these aside. Go ahead, and first thing I do is I'll go ahead and mix the dye. In this case, I'm gonna make a not so thick of a batch. I'm gonna put some powder dye in a cup. This is the turquoise. Put a little bit in there. You don't need a lot. The powder dye is very, very potent, especially when you're only doing a disc or two. Now if you're doing several, you can use a lot, or make a big batch, but I tend to just make small batches. Put a little bit of water. I want to make it hot water. Tiny bit of water in there just to get it at the bottom of the cup there. And you mix it in. I'm also gonna add a little bit of this. It's called Kentucky Sky. This is the liquid dye. I'm gonna put a little bit of this in there. Not a lot. Next thing I'm gonna do is the only thing you need shave cream for is mixing. In this technique, you will need a little bit of shave cream just to mix the dye, make it a little thicker. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit in there. Try to mix it up. It's kind of thick. Came out a lot, so I'm gonna add a little bit more liquid dye here. I want this formula to be kind of runny. If I have to, I'll add a little bit more water, which I will. I'm gonna come over here. Actually, I want to add a lot to this one. I want it to be real runny when I put it on. I'm going to leave it like that, and that's going to be what I'm going to pour onto the surface that I'm going to apply the disc to, which is the bags, which is going to give it that nice looking marbling effect. So I'm just going to ball them up like this, put them at the bottom. I'm going to get some more over here. Just make a little bed for the disc. And a couple more. Okay, I got the bed of bags ready for the dye. I'm gonna make one more dye. I want it to be a little darker, so I'm going to use dark blue. This is actually like a royal blue, darker blue. So you got your light blue here, and I want to make a dark blue here. So I got good amount of powder dye. I'm going to actually still use the liquid dye because this what gives it that glossy look anyways. And I will use that. It's still going to be a dark color. Come over here, a little bit of water. Little shave cream. You can see it's a lot darker. So these two, a little bit more water here. It's what I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and when you're ready to put the disc, as soon as you put the dye, you're gonna want to dump the disc onto the. Also, you're gonna have some weight. I need some weights. So okay, so I'm about ready to put the disc onto the bed of grocery bags. Got my dye ready, and it's nice and thin is what I want. Over here, there's that. So basically, I'm just gonna pour it. You know, I want to kind of scatter it a little bit, so I'm gonna pour dye on there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Come back with the light dye, pour it here, there, there. A little bit more, a little bit more. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and set the disc. Don't want to get it on the back of the disc, not really. Try not to anyways. Now you want to set something on top. And that's it. It's done. Second technique, it's the shave cream technique. This one you're gonna use the pie pan, or it can be a plate or anything that's, you want it to have a deep dish. You want to have something that is gonna hold some shave cream. You know, the best bed is probably a pie pan like this. So I'm gonna get my spatula, which is right here. I mix the dye. It's a super deep red, almost like a blood red. I mixed it up with crimson powder dye and also the RIT liquid dye. And matter of fact, I'm gonna throw a little color intensifier in there. This comes with the powder dyes, and I think this is actually already inside the liquid dye, so I'm gonna add a little tiny bit, even though I think it's already there. So whether it works or not, we're gonna see. Just kind of mix it in there. All right, so I'm ready. The dye is ready. All I have to do now is fill the pan full of shave cream. That's actually enough right there. It's plenty. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to fill the pan. If you make a mistake on the design here, you don't, before you dip the disc, make sure you got your design the way you want it. I mean, there's millions of things you can do. You can just do abstract. You can do something that's more uniform. I'll show you in a second, but you have to get this dye, this shave cream all flat so that you make a nice little bed for the disc, because the disc is going to sit face down into the shave cream. This is one of the easiest techniques, and the coolest results are achieved by using this technique. So that looks pretty good. Alright guys, coming back to the other technique, the shave cream technique, I had to get my dye a little thicker. Alright, so I got my shave cream all down, my bed, ready for the dye. So what I'm going to do is, first rinse this off. Get your syringe that you're going to use. You pull up a bunch and just make your little circles. There you go, it's coming out nice now. Gonna make like a little circle or something. Doesn't have to be a circle, it's gonna be pretty random design, so I'm doing it this way, but you can really do whatever you want. You can just do like dots, it doesn't really matter. As long as you get a good amount out there. Okay, you don't need a whole lot for this. Just take your little wooden dowel or whatever, your toothpick or whatever you want. I get this because it's a little thicker. You don't want it too thin. And you just start to make your little design. And just get something looking cool, So far it looks pretty good. We're gonna go, don't want it too thick. Anywhere that it's too thick, it's just going to create a big splotch on the disc, so you want to just try to even it out, make it look something like that. So remember, this is going to be with the stencil on, so everything outside of this area here is going to be where the dye is. Super red, so I think I'm ready. Go ahead and put it on that. Alright, I'm ready to put the disc on. I feel like this is okay. I'm gonna get one more little. Okay. I guess this is gonna work. I'm just gonna put it right here. Press it down a little bit. Not too hard, but enough to where you get some pressure. And that's it. We're just gonna leave it there for approximately 2, maybe 3 hours. The longer the better. So here's the outcome of the marbling technique with the grocery bags. Turned out super sweet. And here's the outcome of the shave cream technique. It also came out really nice. Well, there you have it. Both techniques turned out really nice. Hope you enjoyed the video. I want to give a special thanks to Tim Johnfro for helping me shoot it, and good luck to everyone in the tournament.